Hi, Adam.
Hi, Gaby.
How are you doing?
I am excellent. I'm especially excellent now that I'm here with you.
So, first question.
Yeah.
Reflecting on your journey from directing Jason Goes to Hell at 23 to producing and writing Hearts of Darkness, how has your perspective on the film and its legacy evolved over the years?
Ooh, great question. Really great question. Here's the thing. When I made Jason Goes to Hell, I was a kid. I was really, really young. And the movie was kind of a very divisive movie. There's a lot of people who really hate it, and then there's a lot of people who really love it. And those people fight a lot. The people who hate it tend to let me know they hate it, and they send me mail and emails and social media posts and a lot of stuff. I was always very proud of the work that I did. Even though I was 23, I was really happy with what I created. Saying that, over the years, because I had been in so much battle with people, right? Eventually, I moved on and I was making other movies and I was writing other things and doing other stuff. So I kind of put a little more in my rear view, even though whenever anybody would interview me, they wanted to talk about Jason Goes to Hell. Fine. Well, now that the movie seems to have found a much larger audience, and there's way more people who are kind of loving up on the movie, for me, I feel like they just kind of came around to where I was with the movie, because I've always been proud of it. So suddenly, there's an audience that's really excited about the movie, and they wanted a documentary. I didn't want to do the documentary. I didn't want to make the movie.
Oh, okay.
I only made the movie because the fans wanted the movie. So I vowed, I said, look, I'm not going to take a salary. I won't make any money from this, as long as the audience pays to make the movie. And they did. You know, we did a crowdfunding, and the movie got financed like that, and suddenly we were able to have a budget to make a film. But I have not taken a salary from the movie because I don't need to profit off this. I want it to be about the fans and giving them what they want.
That's really interesting. Okay, like a crowd charity sort of.
Yeah,
making a movie.
Indiegogo, so crowdfunding.
Okay, yeah, a crowdfunding, yeah. So, second question.
Yeah.
The documentary delves into the unique challenge faced during the production of Jason Goes to Hell. Can you share any experience that was particularly formative for you as a young director?
Sure. So when I was first given the job, or when I was first trying to get the job, I was given certain rules from the producer about what I could and couldn't do and what he wanted out of the movie. So I wrote a version of that, right? But it was very, very dark. It was very brutal and grisly. And the studio, the producer loved it. The studio went, it's a little too dark. Can you make it lighter? Can you make it more fun? And I said, absolutely. I totally get it. So the movie kept evolving, even in the writing process. Before we even shot the film, it was 2 years of writing the movie. And in that 2 years, I learned tremendous number of lessons about what you as a writer want. It's always different than what the producer wants, is always different than what the studio wants. So you have to be flexible. And as a young writer and director, being flexible was something that I wasn't used to.
Yeah.
So I had to learn that pretty quickly. But by the way, that helped me with the rest of my career going forward.
Okay, yeah, I am a little bit a writer. I write horror stories too.
Oh, good. Oh, that's great.
I just write it in French, Halloween d'enfer. It's like Halloween, but like hell.
Okay.
Yeah, sort of.
Halloween in hell?
Yeah, but it's like, it sounds better in French, sort of.
No, it's good.
So,
no, I like that. How long have you been writing?
Well, I have a teacher that's called Stéphanie Duchesne, and she's a writer. So she like sort of like brought me into this, and I started like writing maybe it took me like maybe 4 or 5 months to write it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good.
But I wasn't writing every day, but like when I was writing it, I would at least write like a chapter and a half. So I have like maybe like 13 chapters maybe.
Wow.
Yeah, so yeah.
That's significant. That's a big piece of work.
Thank you. And
Yeah.
I just started writing another one, so I love writing. What can I say?
No, I love it. You're just like I was. That's
Yeah.
when I was a kid. That was exactly where I came from. And by the way, you're like I am now. So yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing.
I love writing. I love acting because I play in short films too.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And yeah, I'm just excited for the future. So yeah.
And you should be. That's. Do you want to eventually be a filmmaker, or do you want to be an actor?
I think I would prefer be an actor, but it would be an experience to be like also part of like making the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But
Sure.
like maybe I would be like an assistant, maybe.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, it would be an experience, and I love doing that. So.
I think it's amazing. I
So
love
my first short film, I only made 2, but I'm gonna make one in like 1 week.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, and I was like, I loved it, and I wanted to do more. So yeah, so I'm excited to do more.
I think that's incredible, and also it's really cool for a young woman to want to make things in the horror space, and I love that your podcast is called Gaby's World of Darkness. It's amazing. It's really good. It's a good name for a podcast, and it also tells something about you.
Yeah.
And when you first see you, you're not thinking, oh, she's gonna love horror movies. But
Yes,
you do. That's super cool.
exactly.
Super
Yes,
cool.
exactly. I have like a English teacher, like my teacher. She knows that I love horror, and I have an English teacher that follows me on my Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
And he's always like, "Oh my God, you're gonna be scream queen when you're gonna be older, and you're gonna be like the killer, and final
That's
girl." And
It's great.
he always talks about me like, before school ended, we were playing volleyball, and he said, "You guys should let her win because she's all gonna kill you guys after if you don't." Yeah, he gets these jokes out, and it's like so funny. So
what's your favorite horror movie?
oh my God, this is like I love the original ones, like Scream.
Okay, awesome, great
I
movie.
love like When You Don't Know the Killers, but I think Scream is like really one of my favorites. Yeah.
It's a great film.
Yeah. Oh, let's go to the other question.
Love it. Let's do it.
In Hearts of Darkness, there's a discussion about the inclusion of the Necronomicon in Jason Goes to Hell.
Okay, sure.
What inspired this crossover element, and how do you feel it influenced fan interpretation? Yeah, sorry.
No worries. It's again, when I made the movie, I wanted to include all of the things that had influenced me as a filmmaker, right? I wanted to make things.
Of course.
Yeah, I wanted to show people, like, I don't think I was born of nothing. I think all of these other filmmakers, all of these other storytellers helped to make me who I am. And
oh my
so
God, I loved how you use the word, like, I was born from this, I don't know, it just made me feel like I'm powerful.
Oh, good. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's great. That's great. So I wanted to put in all these influences, but I also, as a young man, when I was, I was kind of raised on the Friday the 13th movies.
Oh, yeah,
And
okay. That's
from
cool.
the first movie to the second movie, Jason in the first movie is still a little boy in a lake. And by the second movie, he's a grown man that weighs about 150 pounds more than that little boy. And there's 2 weeks between the two movies. So I'm like, how did that happen? So the first movie is really about Jason's mom, Pamela Voorhees, wanting her son back. She's never gotten over the death of her son.
Yeah.
And so my feeling was, well, wouldn't Pamela Voorhees, in her efforts to bring her son back, to have her son, wouldn't she go to the dark arts? Wouldn't she find a Necronomicon? Wouldn't she try to raise the dead?
Okay, that makes
So
more
that's
sense.
why it's there. That's why the Necronomicon is there. It's also why we use the dagger that's in the Evil Dead as well. We use that to kill Jason at the end of the movie, because my interpretation is that Pamela did read from the Necronomicon and she resurrected her son.
Wow.
And once he's one of the Evil Dead, he can gain 150 pounds in a minute if he wants to. You know?
Oh, that is so smart. I would have actually never thought that would be. Oh my god. You just blew my mind. Wow. Okay, that is so cool, because I just I watched a movie yesterday before I interview you, and I was like, why is there a Necronomicon? You know,
That's why.
Just
that's
for
why.
fun, or?
And that's why there's the Kandarian dagger as well. So that those are the two elements from the Evil Dead that I brought into the movie to, and again, we didn't have the rights to the Evil Dead to make for our movie, but I just kind of skirted around that by just placing things in the movie as clues to what my point was.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There was there was a dagger. There was the book, and there was more things
I wanted to have as many homages to my heroes.
Yeah. I remember there was one. I think that was from Creepshow.
Yes, there was from Creepshow. Yes! Excellent. Yep.
Yeah. Got it.
The crate that is in the basement.
Yeah.
From Horlicks University.
Right. Yes. True. I just remember.
That's excellent. Excellent spotting. Very good.
Now let's go to the next question.
Mm-hmm.
The character of Craig Duke has garnered a cult following. How did his conception come about, and did you anticipate his lasting impact on the franchise fan base?
Funny enough, this goes along with your other question, because Creighton Duke is a tribute to the movie that I think is the best directed movie of all time, which is Jaws.
Oh yes,
and,
I love Jaws.
Okay, so if you love Jaws, then you love Quint, right? Captain Quint, the salty sea dog who's going to go get the shark. Well, we wanted to make our version of Quint, because myself and my writing partner Dean Laurie are both obsessed with Quint. And so, if you'll notice, in the first scene that Creighton's in, he says, for the money that you'll give me to get Jason, you get the mask, the machete, the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
Well, in Jaws, Quint says, you'll get the head, the tail, the whole damn thing. So, we literally took that line from Jaws and put it in this movie.
Oh my
and that was us saying, this is our Quint. So that's how we started. That's the conception of him. We also wanted someone who would challenge our hero, Steven. The finger-breaking scene is a perfect example, who would challenge him to become a warrior in order to beat Jason, because otherwise there's no way he can beat him.
Yeah.
Now, did I know that Creighton would last in the mind of the franchise fans? Absolutely. Absolutely I did, because we hired the right actor. Stephen Williams is brilliant in the movie. He's just an incredible actor. We wrote a character that is so close to Captain Quint and that's a character that's never left people's minds. Creighton Duke is, for my money, one of the single best characters ever created in the franchise, just under Jason. And so much so that Stephen Williams, the actor who played it, and I have been working on a Creighton Duke spin-off movie for years. So we have a movie that we're going to do that's just Creighton Duke.
Oh, wow. Well, let's go to the next question.
Okay.
Given that Jason Goes to Hell receiving limited coverage in previous retrospective, how does Hearts of Darkness aim to provide a more comprehensive look at its production and reception?
Excellent. Okay, so in the previous documentary about the Friday 13th series, which is Crystal Lake Memories, which is a wonderful documentary. Yes. That documentary is about 5 hours long. In the doc, however, there's about 18 minutes dedicated to Jason Goes to Hell. It's like no time at all, right? It's like tiny amount of time. So the writer of the original book, Crystal Lake Memories, a guy named Peter Brackey, I went to him before we even started to make this documentary, and I said, hey, I don't want to make this documentary if you're not involved, because you are sort of the guy who knows everything about the franchise.
Okay.
And he was very excited, and him and I are friends. And he said, yeah, I'll come on board. I said, great. So he was the one who did all the research and created all the questions for the documentary. He kind of wrote all that stuff out. And then he was on set to be the interviewer of my cast and crew, including myself.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And he interviewed me for over 12 hours. So there's over 12 hours of footage of me that we cut down to put in this movie. Yeah, it went on forever. So the thing about this movie, the film, we wanted to make a movie that could go into theaters, so it would be a normal size movie. So it'd be a feature film, right? So the film, as it is about 110 minutes, so just under 2 hours, right? And that's the movie. The Blu-ray, however, the physical media version of this, has another 2 hours plus on it. So it's 4 hours long. It's 4 hours of material about this movie. And so it is comprehensive the way nothing has been comprehensive. The other thing is, when we were making it, you know, I thought it was just going to be a lot of people just being interviewed, right? Just going to be interviews and then stills and stuff like that. Well, because nobody ever shot behind the scenes footage for the movie. But I was wrong. Because I asked one of my best friends, a guy named Bob Kurtzman, who did all the effects on the movie, him and Howard Berger of K&B Effects. They did the effects on the movie with Greg Nicotero. And those guys, unbeknownst to me, had shot hours and hours of footage of behind-the-scenes stuff that I didn't know existed.
Oh.
So when I said, I don't know any behind-the-scenes stuff, my friend Bob Kurtzman was like, well, I do. I was like, you do? He said, yeah. He said, you want to use it? I was like, yeah, I want to use it. So he sold me all his footage for $1, and we put it in the movie.
Oh my.
Yeah. So it's the first time I've ever seen myself direct anything. Like, there's shots of me directing. I've never seen that before. So yeah, it was cool.
That must have been so cool, because like
it was
seeing
really
yourself like being like, I'm the boss here, and like. Like,
yeah,
you're proud of yourself, you know.
It was cool. It was cool to see myself at 23 be so confident about things,
right?
and so self-confident. That was fun. That was cool. And it also shows that, you know, look, it doesn't matter how old anyone is. Like, for example, how old are you, Gaby?
I'm gonna be 12 in only like 16 days, so I could say 12.
Awesome. So just about 12. Okay. Here's the thing. There are people 5 times your age who can't do a podcast. I know, because they've tried to interview me, right? who are just not great at it, right? And here you are at 12 doing a podcast. Now, sure, I'm sure your dad has helped you understand the technical stuff and help you with questions and things like that. That's great. But again, you're 12 and you're actually doing it. And that's an amazing thing.
You're making me blush. Stop.
Well, good. But here's the thing. People put age limits on stuff, and I think that's terrible. I think that's nonsense.
Yeah, right.
I think that if you have the drive, it doesn't matter how old you are. If you have the drive and you have a passion for it, and you've done your work to understand how to do what you're doing, I think age doesn't matter.
Yeah, right. I'm 100% with you. That is so true. Like, you know, it's like a lot of times, like, depends which movie that I can watch, you know, because sometimes it's like too much.
Yes.
But like, you know, sometimes it's like written like 18 plus, and I'm like, who cares? I can still watch it, you know. So.
And look, your dad is a horror fan, so he's going to also know what's going to be okay and what's not going to be okay.
Exactly.
And again, and every person is different. There are kids who are 12 years old who I would never let them see my movie, right?
Right.
But you're prepared for it. You understand how this got made. You understand how the mechanics work. Well, then I'm not so worried about you seeing.
Exactly.
There you go.
Like I think it was like when one time the head got squished, I think, in your movie. Yeah. Like there was like spilled blood and everything. I was like, oh, juice.
There you go.
Just
there you go.
Just for fun, you know. But
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, oh my god, how did they make that? You know, like, so, ow.
And that's the big difference. Horror fans are always, look, we want to be scared and we want to have the fun ride, but we also want to know how did it get done? How did they do that?
Like a lot of times, like when a lot of people watch movies, they don't like realize how it's like it took so much time to make and how hard it is and like the behind the scenes. Because like in my short film, even though it was like just a little short film, it was like really hard to make. Like there was one that was called échantillonnage. I was like wet for like 2 days. I was freezing cold in a basement, and I was like, when they said cut, like I got like 7 blankets on me, you know, just like, it was hard, but it is hard. I watched it, and it was so worth it. It was like the best. I just loved it. I could watch it like 5 times a day.
That goes into the category of pain is fleeting, film is forever.
Right.
So you can have a moment of discomfort, but that moment of discomfort, if you create something that's artistic, if you create art in that moment, that art lasts forever. The pain is gone.
Yes, that's true. That is a very, very nice word. Very nice expression, I could say.
There you go. Perfect.
Do we go to the next question?
Absolutely.
The documentary touches on some controverses surrounding the film's creative decisions. How did you approach presenting these candid moments while maintaining a balanced narrative?
It's a good question.
Another good question?
They're good questions.
Thank you.
The thing about the changes we made. Look, the first thing I was told when I got the job was, if you get the hockey mask out of the movie, I'll let you write and direct.
Okay.
So I somehow had to take the hockey mask out of a Jason movie, right?
Right.
So how do you do that, right? And the other part is, people came to see Jason. They came to see the evil that is Jason. So my thought was, I could get rid of the mask and instead focus on the evil that is Jason. Right. What is it that makes Jason Jason?
Smart.
Again, this goes into the Necronomicon thing. So if Jason is more a demon or a spirit or hell's assassin, then it doesn't matter what body he's wearing. It matters that he is who he is.
Yeah, that's true. So
this allowed me to go to the body jumping idea. But I still wanted to make a Jason movie.
Yeah, right.
So all the actors were directed to move like Jason and act like Jason, even though they're not wearing the hockey mask. That was the idea.
But I saw in one of the scenes, I think in the like burger, there was like the mask like suspending. It wasn't like the mask, but it was like so.
Right. It was a phony mask. It was to make fun of
exactly.
It.
So that's one of the other things that I saw. I was like, it looks like a Jason mask, you know. So
here's the thing: we were kind of poking fun at the genre while still being very true and loving to the genre. Right. And just so that you know, because Scream is your favorite, right after I finished making Jason Goes to Hell, the very first movie I got offered was Scream, the original movie. So they brought me the script for me to direct that movie.
Stop.
That's true story. And while we were in process of doing that, because I love the script, Wes Craven, the man who created Nightmare on Elm Street, he said, "I really like that script. I want to make that movie." And suddenly I was like, "All right, I know I'm not going to get this job." But I was asked to direct that movie before Wes.
Oh my.
True story.
I have no words. You just blew my mind again.
By the way, the reason they offered it to me was because I kept doing all this self-referential meta stuff, which is what Scream is all about. That's the whole point. So that was why they thought I'd be the right guy.
I can't believe I'm talking to somebody who got offered to do Scream.
Yeah, I did.
I have no words. I'm just in. Like, What?
That's awesome. That's so
Wow,
good. So
that's
good, Gabby.
So like.
It would have been a great
Yeah.
job. I would have loved to have done
But,
it.
like-
I would have loved to have done it because I love the
Yeah,
script. The
right.
script was
Imagine
amazing.
you would have maybe like. Imagine if it was
Oh.
like. I would be jealous. I would be jealous. Oh my god. But talking by Wes Craven and
Mhm.
and Nightmare on Elm Street. It's been kind of a long time, but I interviewed Ken Cade. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
so like I have like a picture right now that says like it's like a BD sort of, like it says like the Dream Warriors, and then Freddy says Dream Warriors, I will destroy you all, and then Wes Craven says, you burned pizza face, me and Gabriel gonna kick your battle over Dream and over Dreamland. So it's like
I love it.
it's because I
love it.
interviewed him, so and he gave me that
So
poster,
good.
and it's
So
I
good.
love it. It's
That's
so
amazing.
pretty.
It's amazing.
So
It's amazing.
yeah, thank you. Should we
Yeah,
go
it's
on
really
to
good.
the next question?
Absolutely. By the way, one other thing, I knew Wes when I was a little boy.
Did you like met him when you were a little boy?
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, I've known him. I knew him most of my life, and when I was at NYU Film School, I had done readings for Wes
Yeah.
of scripts that he had written, and I did a reading of the very first draft of Nightmare on Elm Street. When I was, I think I
Are
was
you trying
12 or
to make
13.
me jealous again?
No,
You
I'm
are-
just telling you what happened.
You are so lucky. Oh my.
So in my first year of film school, I'm at NYU, and everybody in my class knew that like I knew a lot of filmmakers and that I'd worked on movies already and all of that. So, but people were very suspect of it, and they didn't believe me. Like, oh yeah, sure, he's involved in movies and he knows all these directors. Sure.
From my
So
school, same thing as my school.
Right,
like
while I was at high school, yes.
yeah.
So while I'm sitting in a movie theater at school, we would have filmmakers come and show movies and then talk about their films to the student body. And one night, Wes Craven was coming in to show his movie Shocker and talk about it.
Oh my
right?
god.
So they showed the movie, and then Wes came out on stage, and he looked in the audience and saw me and was like, "Adam, I didn't know you were here." And I was like, "Yeah." And he comes off the stage, walks up the row, and hugs me in front of the entire class.
I
was
bet
like,
you didn't wash that shirt that you were wearing.
Wes was awesome.
Oh my-
He was really awesome guy. Really
He
cool
looks
dude.
so
Yeah.
nice. Oh my god, in front of the whole class.
Yeah.
The reaction if you filmed it, it would
Oh
have
yeah,
been
there was a
so-
lot of people like all the people who didn't
What?
believe that I had done what I did. Suddenly they were like, "Oh man, he's not lying. That's all real." You
Oh
know?
my god. Next question. With the upcoming Blu-ray release of Hearts of the Darkness, what additional content can fans look forward to, and how do these extra enhance the overall experience?
Excellent. Well, as I said earlier, the movie is 110 minutes long, which is great,
that's
and it's
perfect.
a full movie. But then there's on the disc, there's over 2 hours of extra footage,
right.
and we've got all kinds of like little mini docs. We've got discussions between people. We've got effects stuff that has never been seen before. So we get into a lot more stuff. So really, it ends up being like a 4-hour documentary on the disc. And it enhances, look, for the fans who love knowing everything about these movies, it's just a much bigger package of stuff for them to
My
get.
dad loved these things, documentary and stuff. He always watched them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, they're as fun as the movies because they give us an insight into how those movies that we love got
I
made.
love when like I watch like movies and then there's like sort of bloopers like
Oh,
yeah,
sure,
like-
I love it.
in behind scenes. I love when I
love
can watch it. I'm gonna watch it because it's like
Yeah.
like you're like, oh, okay, so that's how like when you film a movie it is. Because I only did short films, and like
Sure.
probably like when there's movies, it's like way more people and like way more things, way more action.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah, right. Let's go on to the next question.
Excellent.
During the documentary, you addressed the absence of producer Sean Cunningham. Could you elaborate on that decision and its impact on the story?
Yeah, I can address that. Look, Sean was a wonderful producer when it came to making sure that I had all the tools I needed in order to make the film. He's a very good line producer. He's also a good executive producer in that he's able to make a deal and get money to put together for a film and get it moving. The problem with Sean is that Sean sometimes takes credit for things that other people did.
Oh.
And that's not great.
Yeah, right.
So he has made some pretty wild statements about who did what on Jason Goes to Hell. And the interesting thing is that, when we asked the cast and crew, had you ever seen Sean on set? Or did you interact with Sean on set? Or any of these things? And most of the actors went, I don't know if I even met Sean. Like, I don't remember Sean at all.
Oh.
I don't remember him being there. But Sean would try to take credit for work that I had done.
Oh,
but the actors didn't know
That
it.
is not cool. Oh.
No, it's not cool. It's not cool. But it is something Sean has repeatedly said in public. We talk about it in the documentary. We talk about it especially in the extras on the Blu-ray. That we get much more into.
Looking back, Jason Goes to Hell has garnered a cult following despite its initial reception. How do you feel about the film evolving legacy and its place within the horror genre? I got it.
Awesome. You did. Perfect. Jason Goes to Hell has become kind of a cult film, and it's actually, I think, even more than that. It's funny. My friend Bob Kurtzman calls the movie a cult classic, which I always want to give him a kiss when he says it. But here's the thing. I think what people are starting to realize was that I wasn't just trying to do something different, but that I did something different. That instead of just replicating the same formula over and over and over again, which really was getting so old, that I think fans now way more appreciate going, wait a second. It's better that we got something new because you can always go back and watch the other ones to see a guy in a hockey mask stalking and killing teenagers. But my movie is like monsters and people melting and body hopping and all kinds of crazy stuff. Well, I think that's because I was a fan of the genre. I was a fan of the franchise, and I felt like I was being treated like an idiot and someone who could only take the same movie over and over again. And I'm like, no, I want something new, and I want this character to evolve. So I looked for a way to let the character evolve. And I think that's aging well. Yeah. And I think that, the audience is getting it.
God. Yeah, that's, work smarter, not harder.
There you go.
Yeah.
100% there you go.
That is a very smart thing that you just said, and you
Thank you.
did too. Like, doing
Thank
different, like, because, there's a lot of Friday the 13th. So, like, when I watched the others and I saw yours, I was like, okay, that's a very different one. And it's like, I was like, okay, that's interesting. So, do different.
Yeah.
So, that's...
Absolutely.
Yeah, right, it's true. And already the last question. I had so much fun.
Okay.
And let's go.
I have too.
If you had the opportunity to revisit the Friday the 13th franchise, is there a particular story or character you'd like to explore further? Perhaps expanding on ideas introducing in Jason Goes to Hell?
Yes. Look, a lot of people have talked about, wanting to do more films around Jason, and whenever I'm asked about, like, what would I do with Jason, like, how would I make a new movie with Jason? I think the idea of Jason somehow escaping hell is really interesting.
Stop. That is
Yeah.
a great idea.
And then I would get all of the people that have been heroes in Friday the 13th movies who have survived.
Oh my god.
Creighton Duke, Stephen Freeman, Tommy Jarvis from part 4, 5, and 6. And also, I think like Amy Steele from part 2, who's still with us and still an amazing actor.
That would be so cool.
And get them and a bunch of other people to go into the woods of Camp Crystal Lake and hunt Jason, Predator style.
Oh my god.
That's the movie I would make.
Oh my god, that is... I have a lot of imagination, but that is very impressive, mister.
Love that. Thank you. Thank you. That's very kind.
Oh my god. That is... Call me if you need me.
I will, absolutely.
Oh my
Absolutely.
God, that would
you got
be
it.
so... Oh my god, that would be
Right?
so fun. Oh my god.
It'd be
Yeah,
a fun
really smart. Really
Thank
so
you.
cool.
Thank you.
So thank you, Adam, for being with me, and I hope you have a great night and keep doing a great job.
Thank you. I will tell you, this is one of the best interviews I've had in a very long time.
Thank you.
You had great questions, and you handled yourself beautifully. This is really good.
Thank you so
really
much.
Good. You're a good interviewer.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And you are a great producer.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh my god, thank you so much, Adam. I am so
got
happy, and I learned a lot of things. So, yeah.
I love that. That's
Thank
awesome.
you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.